get back a player like Petrie just after a couple of days? Is it kind of getting him just back into the football mode and trying to ramp him up?
Petrie is good. He's back out at practice. He's good. Same guy he's been. So nothing to report there.
I know you talked recently about Sheldon Rankins, but after not having him compete this year, why were y'all really interested in having him back?
I was really interested in getting Sheldon back just because knowing the type of player that he was when he was here, like the leadership that he provided. I think him and Will had a really great connection their first year together, and really wanted to keep Sheldon. So it was really tough seeing him go, leave us, go to Cincinnati. That was a tough one because we were really working hard to get him back. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but it's all about the right time, and it worked out this year, and so we're happy to have him back to our team.
What are some of the improvements that you're seeing on the offensive side of the ball now that you all have had the pads on for 2 days?
You see it, things evening out more when you put the pads on. Defense kind of had the advantage there. Early on, we weren't in pass. Defense was making a lot of plays, and now just see things balancing themselves out. Offense is making plays daily. Our quarterbacks are doing a really nice job just placing the football in the right spot. And our receivers are making some really tough, contested catches. And that's what we want to be. We want to be a tough, physical football team. And you can't lose sight of that play on the outside from the receivers, the DBs, how those guys play. That's the makers of a really physical team. So Jaden Higgins, he stepped up, made some really nice catches. Noel Hutchinson has done a really good job this year playing physical, really doing a great job at the catch point as well. We got a lot of guys on the offensive side who are getting really better, and it really jumps out in that receiver room to me.
On the offensive line, Tomlinson, what does he bring, maybe not just on the field but off the field, as you try to improve the line coach from last year?
What Lakin brings to our team, off the field, it starts with his work ethic. I just remember him. He first came in our OTA, our OTA program, just the way he worked. Like he did a great job just establishing himself as a hard worker, and for guys just to watch him. Lakin, he didn't have to say much, but you just watch his actions, watch how he went about his work. And I think a lot of our younger guys can glean a lot from that. Like, man, this guy is about his business. He's been in the league over 10 years. Why does a guy like that stick around? It's going to start with the work ethic, especially at such a tough position that he plays up front in the interior offensive line. Like those guys, it's a very physical game up there. They take a pounding. Lakin does a great job of not only working hard, but also recovering the right way, taking care of his body the right way. So I think he can really help a lot of our guys when it comes to that area of the game off the field that no one sees, to allow you to be your best when you step out on the field. Lakin has excelled at that from the beginning of his career to now.
Coach, Nick Casario was on the radio this morning talking about steps he's seen Will Anderson take. Can you specify what those things were? What can you say about the development from year 2 to year 3 for him specifically?
Will has done a really good job of just taking his game to the next level. When it comes to his pass rush, I haven't seen a person that's more dialed in when it comes to like what moves he's trying to execute, right? Really, and not predetermining moves, but truly playing instinctive, playing off of what the offensive line is giving him, whether he needs to play speed to power, whether he needs to be a little more finesse, working the edge, right, working the inside. But he's just doing a really great job of really developing that pass rush repertoire. And him working with Coach Rod and working with Daniil, and you see the growth, you see the improvement. I talk about Will all the time as that relentless player and what we represent as a Texan, but it's also he represents that part of that growth factor, and what I love to see from all of our guys. And you can see this year, I know he's going to be a much better pass rusher than he was last year, just because of the work that he's put in all throughout the offseason, and now in training camp is still growing each and every day. And I have to keep him away from a quarterback because he's getting a little too close. But he's doing a great job.
Along those lines with Eric Steele Jr., he's always looking to get better and work hard. What do you see with him as he tries to just continue to make specific improvements to his game?
Stingley, what I've seen from him throughout camp, Stingley is just consistent. He's quiet over there on the edge, and that's what it takes to be a really great corner. There shouldn't be a lot happening your way because a lot of people don't want to go your way. But him and Nico, they go at it every single day. Those two of our best guys, they match up against each other every rep. And that's good on good every single time. Those guys, they sharpen each other every time they're out here. So Sting has continued to be steady, picking up right where he left off.
It's not ideal to have a couple of your running backs out, but how beneficial is it to have these added reps for a new guy like Nick who's getting used to the system and kind of younger guys to get these reps?
In training camp, right, you never know what's going to happen. So as a player, my message is you have to be ready. When you do have the opportunity to get more reps, you have to take advantage of those reps. And you take advantage of them by, knowing what to do in the meetings and coming out on the field and being able to execute the right way. Nick has done that. Woody's done that. All the guys, Jawar, Dare, those guys have done a great job of just being ready to go. And those guys are getting a lot of reps. Hopefully those reps pay off as those guys see more throughout training camp. But the backs are doing a great job. Coach Danny Barrett, as always, is continuing to do an outstanding job as our running backs coach. And I really love working with Danny, appreciate what he's done working with those guys.
Coach, as you first time playing forward, what do you remember the first time you assumed that role and then having that experience with Bobby and now going to Nick? How do you prepare for that being the first time that you do it? And what do you remember? And how's that experience with Bobby help work? Because I would imagine there's nothing like calling it within game. Right?
As the first-time play caller, it's like we talk about players, rookies, and their growth and development. It's the same with play callers. Like, you have to get reps. The only way to get better at something is you have to go out and do it. So for me, I try to do a really good job of putting guys in position, right? Different situations, different scenarios all throughout practice, like things that will come up in games. I try to make sure I'm putting those guys, through those situations. So when they see them, they can go back and they have a library of, hey, we were practicing on this day. I remember this situation. This is what I call. Hey, as you go in and look at practice, sometimes you look at it. Myself, you're always analyzing what you did. How can you be better? You analyze it. Hey, maybe I'll call something different here, or that would have worked. So it's always about self-evaluation as a play caller. Right? Nobody else may say anything to you, but you have to constantly be a hard critic on yourself as a play caller, knowing what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to get it done. And I'll continue to give the guys as many reps as possible to make sure they're ready to go come game time.
So DeMeco, given Nick's experience with tight end position, how do you feel you've seen Cade and Dalton and Brevin kind of take that next jump forward and how they've kind of grown off of last season?
Our tight ends, they've been really solid all camp. Jake has done a great job of coaching those guys up, just putting the pads on. I see guys just being on it, playing with their pads, playing physical, playing with great hand placement, the tight end position, starting there in the running game and how we're blocking at that position. And then you see the route detail and the route growth starting with Cade Stover. I've seen him develop a lot as a pass catcher running the routes. He's done a really great job at the top of his routes, executing the break points, getting open. Dalton has come back. He's done a great job of being the elite pass catcher that we expected him to be. And Brevin, his explosiveness, his play at the line of scrimmage, and when he gets the ball in his hands, like that entire group, they have a lot of different things that they do well. And you got 3-4 tight ends who can operate in that manner is going to help us. So not only Kaylee, but also Jake, as Coach Jake has done a great job with the tight end group.
So many physical players play physical on the defensive side of the ball. What is the message that you're giving them to maybe tone it down a little bit? Because, you got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Lamar Lassiter, Assis, they're used to playing a certain type of physical style. How did you get them to dial it back just a little bit?
All right, the Texans are going to be a physical football team. That's what I believe in. I don't like guys who don't play the game the right way, and that's being physical. Not only defensively, but offensively. Like, we're going to play backs running behind your pass, O-line, finishing at the second level. That's what I truly believe in. And so when we come out and practice, like, we are a team. We have to work together, right? It's just when we practice, there's just no cheap shot. We still want to play physical. We're going to play between the whistles, but we don't want guys, we just always talk about protecting the team, not taking a cheap shot, not going to the ground, and guys are smart enough and aware enough that they know how to practice the right way, which allows us to practice hard, but also practice in a safe manner.
After the last one, after the day, it seemed like starting line, they're always better against the starting defensive line. How do you kind of see the progression of starting offensive line?
The O-line, again, it's different guys have been in there. I think those guys are continuing to get better. And you see it's real football, you get to block guys with pads on. I think that's just real, and that's what you see. Our guys are doing a solid job, and they're continuing to get better.
Coach, it seems like Arnett is making a little bit of a case on special teams. He's had some pretty flashy plays. What have you seen from him in the case of his track game?
Arnett he's taking his second chance, and he's running with it. Right? He's been dialed in since day one. Very grateful for the opportunity to be back in the NFL, and I'm happy to be in a position to give a guy a second chance. I think in life we all need more than second chances. It's just having another chance. If we all think back on our lives and things that happen, like you want the opportunity to have another chance at things, and he's doing a great job with it so far. All right, thank you guys.